Today, I invite you to join me as I sew this beautiful dress. Spring is already here, and this design is perfect for the season. It's fitted at the waist, has spaghetti straps, and a gorgeous skirt that will sway with every step you take. So this dress, I'm going to use my Anabelle dress pattern. This pattern comes with a PDF containing written instructions. The way I'm going to sew the dress in this video is a little different because I'm going to use lining. So this dress I've chosen a cotton blend fabric, a poplin that's 60% cotton, First, I'm going to start by cutting the long strips that I'll use later to create the gathered ruffles at the hem. I'm going to cut 4 strips the full width of the fabric, and then I'll lay out the entire fabric to cut the skirt. It's the largest piece of the pattern. So I prefer to cut it first and then adjust the rest of the bodice pieces to fit the remaining fabric. The bodice is very simple. I just have to cut the front unfold and 2 back pieces. But remember that the front dart doesn't have a seam allowance. You have to add it when cutting. The rest of the piece outlines and other pieces already have the seam allowance added, so don't worry. I'm going to start by sewing the darts on the front. I'll place the pieces right sides together and sew a stitch along the seam allowance, following the line I've drawn based on the pattern's shape. Since the bust dart has a slightly curved shape, I'm going to make small notches so I can iron the seam better toward the side. A sewing ham can be a huge help in ensuring the bust shape conforms better to the body and the dart doesn't end up pointy. Now, I'll sew the back dart. This dart is standard. It has a standard triangular shape. So I'll fold the fabric right sides together and stitch from the base to the tip of the dart. Press the dart toward the side. We'll join the front and back pieces along the side seam by placing the pieces right sides together and sewing a straight stitch along the seam allowance. We can press these seams open. The straps on this dress are spaghetti style, so we just need to cut some thin fabric strips and sew them as if they were bias tape folded down the center. If you don't know how to sew this type of tape, don't worry. I'll leave a link to our blog in the description box. Personally, I like to cut the straps long so I can try them on directly on the bodice. At this point, it's important to try on the bodice and check if any adjustments are needed, as well as make sure the strap length fits you perfectly. Once you've decided on the length of your straps, we'll pin them to the bodice in this position. Before continuing, I need to cut out the body lining. This time, I'm going to use the same fabric for the lining as for the outer fabric. We only need a lining for the bodice, so to sew the lining bodice, we'll repeat the same steps we used for the outer pieces. And once we have it, we'll place both bodices right sides together, having positioned the straps in the middle of both pieces. Stitch a basting line along the seam allowance all around the neckline, leaving the entire center back and hem completely open. The straps will be sandwiched between the two pieces, the outer and the lining. So make sure to secure them well with the stitching. Once the top stitching is finished, we'll make a few notches in all the curved areas of the neckline. If you want, you could make an understitching along both the neckline and the armholes. But in this case, I'm not going to do it simply because this fabric irons very well and doesn't need it. Turn the garment inside out and iron the entire neckline thoroughly. Now, I'll pin the two layers of fabric together along the entire waistline. I'm going to attach both layers of fabric at once to the skirt piece. The skirt is quite wide, and the waist area has a curved shape. What we need to do is place the skirt right sides together with the bodice and gradually adapt the curved shape to the shape of the waist on the bodice, securing everything with pins. I'm going to sew a stitching along the seam allowance and finish the seam on the inside with a thin bias tape. Personally, I love this finish, but you could also use an overlock machine. At the center back, we'll sew in the invisible zipper from the neckline to the zipper's end notch. the top of the zipper, I simply folded the excess fabric over and inward. After checking that the zipper is properly positioned and that the waist seam is well aligned, as well as the center back seam that runs from the end of the zipper to the bottom of the garment, I'll simply place the pieces right sides together and sew a straight stitch along the seam allowance. I'm also going to finish this seam, just like the waistband, with bias tape. I'll place a strip of bias tape on each back piece and then press it flat. This type of finish takes a little more work, but it looks beautiful. And now it's time to attach the ruffles to the hem. The first thing I'm going to do is join the 4 rectangular pieces I cut out at the beginning. I'll join the ends with a French seam until I create a completely circular piece. After joining the 4 pieces, I'm going to make a hem at the bottom. I'll make a first fold of 0.7 centimeters and a second fold of another 0.7 centimeters to complete the 1.5 centimeters seam allowance. The entire piece, and it's time to start gathering. It's a fairly long piece, so you'll need a little patience. All the gathering we do on these pieces will then need to be distributed little by little along the hem of the skirt so that the gathering is even. Distribute the gathers calmly and evenly. Since you have 4 rectangular pieces that you've gathered, my advice is to divide the skirt's hemline into 4 parts as well. That will make it easier to distribute the gathers. Once all the gathers are pinned to the skirt's edge, all that's left is to sew a seam allowance stitch to join the 2 pieces. And again, since I love the bias tape finish, I'll finish this seam on the inside like this. But you can also use a serger for a quicker finish. And with that, we've finished sewing the dress. I hope you enjoyed it.